responsible use and ethical use of AI is important. But I would encourage people not to be afraid of it. What I always say, anybody's been rocking with me for a while, they'll hear this a million times over, is I prompt you to code with AI. And that means to create, optimize, dream, and execute. Create, make something. Optimize, streamline something. This might be a schedule, a workflow, your podcast workflow. Streamline something. That's to optimize. Dream, reimagine something.
Welcome to another edition of Be Great Podcast. Today we have some great individual who she's been doing some great work to help so many great people, and so I'm very privileged to have her here today, Miss Cynthia. Cynthia, how you doing?
I'm amazing, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
Well, glad to have you here. If you wouldn't mind, let's take a few minutes and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Cynthia Respert. Hi, everyone. I am an AI strategist and business ops consultant. I love AI, I love community, I love helping people and serving people. I've been in this space for a long time. Systems and operations is my background for over 25 years. But this AI thing is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I've made it my personal mission to upskill and reskill people to thrive in this digital age.
Wow, I'm so glad to have you because you are when I say the guru of knowing AI, you are one who has actually sat and trained our group called the Morning Meetup and so many others to introduce us to this place of AI. But I want to first ask you a little bit about your background, what led you into the area of AI.
Sure. So again, my background is materials logistics management, fancy word for saying processes and operations. And my career started in the manufacturing area. At Ford Motor Company way back in the day. I'm from Detroit. What up, though, y'all? And my operations background, in that environment, things had to go together. Things, or there were quality issues or hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake. So it was a very high pressure environment where I learned a lot of things, and I was wired that way anyway. So my systems and operations background, I've always been on this quest for efficiency. I always felt like, man, there's got to be a better way. We could do this better. This process can be improved, and it drives my husband crazy because he's just like, can we just do this? I'm like, it's got to be a better way, right? So I've always been on that efficiency quest, right? So I've always researched systems and tools. So when AI came out, it just catapulted that, and you were able to 10x efficiency. So it's like a natural progression. I would research systems and tools. That was my background, but then AI just came and changed the whole game.
Let's help people who don't really know exactly what AI is.
Sure.
And they deal with it every day, but just don't know, okay, that sometimes that's what it is. But if you can't help us to understand what AI really is.
Sure. AI stands for artificial intelligence, and it's a system and a tool. So these are models that are trained, or systems that are trained on large language models. And they are impacting how we live, work, and play. And like you said, we've already been interacting with AI. Alexa is AI. Siri is AI. Yeah. You know, when you buy those or you're scrolling and you like some shoes, or you just say it, this is scary. Wow. You just say it like, oh, those are dope. And then you open up any other app and you get an ad for it, right? Or it's coming up in your feed, regardless of where you go, you get marketing tools. Those are all algorithms and AI assisted things that bring things to us. And essentially what AI is a tool. It's a tool to amplify human creativity, a tool to amplify who we are. And tools can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? Or it can be used for good and bad. The tool is a tool. It's in the middle. But just like that, money is a tool. Yeah. Guns are a tool. Mm-hmm. The problem, I won't say the problem, the opportunity is the impact for this tool getting in the wrong hands has far wide-reaching effects, more so than a bullet. A bullet can go in one direction and it might hit some strays. Wow. AI is so powerful in the wrong hands, it can have, dramatic effects, wide, far-reaching than a bullet.
Wow, that's huge. And I want to go down the other path. Before I go there, I want to first to share what I heard from Bishop T.D. Jakes. Mm-hmm. He said, in the next 10 years, over 70 million jobs will be replaced with AI. So that's really hitting home, knowing that people who either serve at certain restaurants, Walmart, and things like that, whatever certain jobs, they want to be replaced. And so knowing that, what elaborate a little bit in that space of what that means, because some people is like, I've been doing a job for however long, and they don't realize that this can affect them down the road.
Absolutely. It's a very real problem. So much so that the big tech, Google, IBM, all these people, they came together to say, to form a consortium, a group, right, that says we're going to upskill, train, and reskill 100 million people in the next 10 years in AI, because it's that big of an issue, because there will be jobs to be replaced. But I submit and have the idea of, and I know this is a touchy subject, but if a computer can do it, now it frees you up to do something else. It calls you to a higher level of thinking.
Yes.
It can assist you. Now, that is a sensitive subject if somebody did not develop skills, or they're at a job that is routine, right? Now that's replaced. That is a different type of transition. It's a mindset shift. It's an education shift. You got to learn something new. Everybody doesn't like to learn things new. Sometimes I don't. We all don't. The only thing's going to remain the same is change, right?
Yes.
So it does. You have to think about the older population or the seasoned population who that's all they've done all their life. So that's why programs like what I'm doing and many, many others to train and reskill people is so important. But it's a fact. Jobs will be replaced. Think about every technology has led to the next technology, right? We remember typewriters, right? You had a computer. Remember beepers. Or remember we didn't have the cell phone. Yeah. And I remember we had the first cell phone was like in a bag. I'm dating myself now, boy. They was in a bag. Yeah. And I remember a guy pulled up next to us. I was a little girl in the grocery store. And he had this big old house phone in his car trying to act like he had a cell phone. Okay. So all that to say, every technology is evolving. There's an evolution, right? You went from pagers to cell phones to cell phones in a bag this big to now you can fit them in your pocket. I remember a funny story. I was living in Orlando and I was on the computer and I called home and my mom said, hey, you want to talk to your dad? No, my dad said, you want to talk to your mom? And I said, sure. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm on my computer. And she says, how are you on the phone and the computer at the same time? Because you think about dial-up internet, you couldn't do two at the same time. Yeah. So all that to say, we can either progress with the times, or we can still think that we can't be on the phone and computer at the same time, right? So it always, as we evolve, it always displaces the skillsmen of the day. Like we don't need milkmen anymore. We need those critical back in the day. You needed that milkman to deliver that milk. We don't need that anymore. So, but now what it frees us up to think higher and do something different. So I can go on for a minute there. But it is a sensitive subject. We have the writer's strike. We have people, like you said, that will be displaced, that this is all they've done all their life. Now what do they do? This is an invitation. This is an opportunity to learn something different and new. And that's why we need 10,000 more me's that are passionate about this, right? Let me help this group. Let me help the elderly group. Shout out, actually, that's a market right there. Yes. Teaching the elderly how to navigate in this digital age.
Well, I want to ask you this, because that person now got their ears open to hear the changes there. But what would be the steps that they need to do in order to start embracing AI? What would be some tools of how to start educating themselves in that space?
Sure. I would say, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed, right? AI is everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. That's what I like to say. It's everywhere because it's on the news and it's here. It's in your inboxes and your news feed. But still, there are people that feel like it's not for them. Like, oh, it's there. It'll go away. Like Bitcoin. And, well, it's not going away, but, NFTs. And it's a passing thing. I'll ignore it until it dies down. But baby, this thing ain't going nowhere. We cannot unsee what we've seen. This is like, I call it the inflection point. It's like the point of no return, right? So what I would say, I do this thing called AI Labs. Okay. AI and then Labs. Learn and produce something saucy. The way we learn is by doing. Okay. So you might get 800 tools in your inbox or on the news. Try one. Identify a problem and say, I'm going to try this tool. And what happens is you begin to get this AI muscle memory or this AI mindset. And it's like, oh, okay, I know how to do this. I saw that the last time I tried it. Just experiment. Learn and produce something saucy. That saucy is, I say that because I believe humans are the sauce. Like nothing will ever replace human creativity and human intelligence, right? So that sauce is we bring our unique twist to something. Nobody can podcast like you. Nobody can interview like you. Nobody can lead like you, speak like you, right? You can feed that into a tool, but nobody's going to be Stephen Loney.
Exactly.
Right? Even if I put we're using the same tool, ChatGPT here, ChatGPT here, and we're talking about being great, and I'm talking about being great, your great going to look different than my great. Because your mindset and what you train for and what's in here, you're putting into the machine, right? You train it so it doesn't use you, right? There are some, again, the dark side. There's a dark side to everything. It's the dark side to money, dark side to guns, dark side to any tool. But if you use it with your creativity, you can use it for good.
Exactly. When I think about AI, some people may think of it the same way. They think about the Terminator.
Yeah.
And so it's not saying that machines will ever replace people, but it's also the smarter the machine get and their thinking bots, it's scary. And so what do you have to say to the individuals who think like that, or even, I mean, it's not saying they're wrong. And so
I saw a video, there's several videos, but there's one video that looks so lifelike, and it was created with a sentence. And I think I showed that to the community, but it looked like cinematic motion picture quality, and it was created with one sentence. I saw another video where an AI tool allowed a paralyzed woman who had lost her speech as well, help to communicate again, right? I saw another one where there was a robot sitting there interacting with a human. And the human was instructing it, hey, put the dishes up. And he did like this. Put it in. Said, hey, okay, now hand me the apple. How did you know? Oh, no. Now put the trash in the trash can, little trash can. Said, how did you know where to put the trash? Says, well, the only trash can on the desk was here, and this was balled up, so this was trash. And I put it in the this is a robot speaking, right? And responding. So this thing is not slowing down anytime soon. So I believe there will be a day. I mean, I say we're living like the Jetson age, right? However, we have to think about the good, right? All the things I told you this. It's diagnosing a disease. Still needs to be fact checked, but diagnosing a disease, helping a paralyzed woman communicate with her family again, creating and showing us a new way to imagine. So it's responsible use and ethical use of AI is important. But I would encourage people not to be afraid of it. Exactly. Like what I always say, anybody's been rocking with me for a while, they'll hear this a million times over, is I prompt you to code with AI. And that means to create, optimize, dream, and execute. Create, make something. Optimize, streamline something. This might be a schedule, a workflow, your podcast workflow. Streamline something. That's to optimize. Dream, reimagine something. So what AI allows us to do is start from a higher playing field. I don't have to ask the rudimentary questions or the things that a machine can do. Hey, solve that for me. This is your like your assistant in the team you never had, right? Solve that for me. And now I can start here. I don't have to start down here and do the grunt work. Do the grunt work so now I can ideate. I can be the CEO. I can be the manager. I can be the visioneer, right? Because you did all of the work for me. And then the E is execute. Just act on what we learn. Just starting by using one tool, learn one concept, just engage 30 minutes a day, and then you'll develop this muscle memory.
Wow. That's great. And it's a clue that if you see billionaires investing a lot of time, a lot of money in this space.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. You want to turn your head towards it versus turn away. Please do.
Listen, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT creators, is on this campaign to raise $7 trillion for the infrastructure of AI. He said the infrastructure right now is not strong enough. It's not going to move fast enough. We have to put more into it. So like you said, anytime the big boys, the big tech guys are investing that much in it, they know something we don't know. They've seen something we haven't seen. So that is our call. That's like the indicator, the signal. Don't ignore this. Because oftentimes communities of color, underserved communities, we think it's going to be a passing phase. And then we get on the train when it's already out the station and we're trying to play catch up. And that's the reason that I started the organization that I did, is to help train women and women of color particularly to not be afraid of this technology. Because oftentimes, like I said, we get left behind, ignoring it, or out of fear or overwhelmed, and then we wake up too late. We sound an alarm.
If you can, let's talk a little bit about your program, because that's what you do, and I'm always curious. I'm like, if I think of AI, I think of you. You're the one who I know introduced me to a lot of this. So what does that look like if someone wanted to learn more about what you offer?
Sure. So the AI Builder Academy, so it's BUILDHER Academy. The goal is to upskill and reskill, build the capability and confidence of 100,000 women to build tech-enabled solutions that move the world and impact generations. Because we are builders. We build communities, we build families, we build businesses. Come on now, right? We build and we build legacies. So what I want to do is supercharge those efforts that we already innately have and teach the technology part of that so they can build solutions to put out into this marketplace. Because AI has made it easier than ever to create platforms, to do everybody else profiting from it, why not us, right? So I know a lot of people say, well, why just the women? So I'm passionate about that because women only get 2% of VC funding, investments out of the piece of the pie. We get less than 2%. We're under-supported, under-resourced. However, I do have workshops that's open to both men and women because I'm passionate about it in a holistic way, for sure, in terms of training and upskilling. So it's the AI Builder Academy, and our upskilling framework is to learn, leverage, and lead. Learn AI, learn to leverage it to make it work for you, and then lead in the marketplace with building solutions that the market needs.
Now, if someone wanted to get your information, how can they find you?
Sure. Cynthia Respert on all platforms, LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm the most active. But then AI Builder, it's a bit.ly link right now, but AI Builder Academy, you'll get the information, get on the wait list for the community and all the other things that are coming soon. And I'll give you the link to drop in the description.
Please do. We want to make sure we share with everyone because if you have not, you know the price will increase in time. So you might want to jump on it right now. Because definitely she knows exactly. She's a phenomenal trainer. I've seen some of your trainings on several times, and I'm like, ChatGPT. I've actually got on what's it, Gemini.
Good.
I don't know if you use Gemini, but that one's like, whoa.
Yeah, they turned that up.
Yeah, and so it's almost scary because it's almost it can increase in its thinking as you use it. It's
like training it. Yeah. But that's why I say it needs you just as much as we need it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What you putting in there is helping to train it, right? And so there are data security conversations and things like that. But we are not going to end the world by writing our blog. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared to put your blog in there. Like, learn how to use this stuff. Because to be honest, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, it might not even be the same. But the skills you gain, you can use anywhere. Otherwise, you got to hurry up and try to learn the foundational stuff while it's skyrocketing. Learn now, engage now, run the laps, learn and produce something saucy so that you can be equipped to build in this technology.
Yeah. Well, if you could talk to the people and give them something that you either tell to yourself, you encourage them to utilize this tool to better themselves, how would that be if you wanted to share it with people?
I think it would go back to that code to create. I mean, it's ingrained in my brain now. Create, optimize, dream, and execute. There is a guy. He's the CEO of NVIDIA, a stock that went through the roof. They're in the AI space with AI chips and stuff. And he said, you know what? I don't believe people need to know how to code anymore. He said, somebody might throw shots at me, but programming should be as easy as simple language. Like, just like me and you talking, he's saying coding should be that way. This is the CEO of an AI company. And he's saying that's where this is going and progressing. So that's where I created that before I heard that. But it goes in line with it, that coding is not, you don't need to go to a coding boot camp and know zeros and ones. This is like easy as natural language now. So create something, like make something. You can make children's books now. You can do exponentially more than you could have before, but you have to start by learning and doing. We learn by doing. I am guilty. I have so many things saved in bookmarks and Instagram. Let me tell you, I got folders. They organized. Steven, I have so many things organized, but it's not until I touch them, learn them, and use them that it really gets in me, right? Otherwise, I'm like, I think I saw something. Let me go in here and, right? It's not till we do. So that code is important. Create, optimize, dream, and execute. Like reimagine your life. Like what does that thing look like when you have to work an hour a day, optionally, 3 hours a day, optionally, right? There's something that comes to mind. You asked me this. He said, Sam Altman again, CEO. He said that we're in an age where there will be a one-person unicorn company. A unicorn company is valuated at $1 billion. He's saying AI has made that possible now. So he has a group text with the CEO, his tech CEO friends, he says. So I guess, Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, all tech CEO friends in this group chat saying they're betting on the year that we will have a one-person billion-dollar company. I'm personally believing that's going to be a woman because that's why the AI Builder Academy exists. But do you understand that that's possible? No team, because you can make AI your team, right? So these are the creators of this chat, GPT and all the other things that are saying it's possible for one person to run $1 billion company. So that's the possibility that's out there. So we turn a blind eye to that, we miss out. So my goal is to illuminate, turn these light bulbs on, like, you go through the house, flip the switches on and let's ride this puppy out, right? Let's learn something, let's do something with these opportunities that we have. So I get excited about that.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. What I got from this conversation is don't turn your head from it.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Just because you don't understand, it might be back when the parents were saying, our grandparents may have said this about the microwave first kind of came around. People were like, no, I don't trust that. And sometimes you may not understand it, but just don't turn your head from it because it may be something that you need down the road. It can actually make your life a whole lot easier. So definitely take this information that you heard. Allow it to incite you to do something with it because you use it every day. If you don't think about, even when you use your phone or whatever you do, it's already there. You can just be intentional on practicing. Get your reps in because that's something you train on. Start using your chat GPT on a regular basis. Ask questions. Just kind of, just play around with it. Some of your stroll time, get on your chat GPT and just ask it a question or two. And you'll be surprised what you learn over time. And you'll be surprised where it leads you. So I want to thank you so much, Cynthia, for taking the time just to sit down with me to educate everyone on how valuable AI is. And so we thank you so much. Like I say, we here at a training, we learn so much, but also we want to continue doing great things. So if you like what you heard right here, do subscribe, but also be great. Thank you for checking us out.
Be great.